1, 2, check, check. Sweet stars. But that is a beautiful sound. Can you hear me? We are a go for broadcast. Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it. Now I'll kindly thank you to get out of my tower. Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior, but I must admit I have grown rather fond of you. As Nyoka can attest, I do not form attachments with many. Do take care.
Why, he told us to leave without flinging insults at our persons. He really does like you, Captain. What in the void-blasted hell is that?
Black holes? Did you see that? Looked like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers, but don't cite me on that. Oh well, a pity for the crew, but I can't see how it affects me. Hiram? Can you hear me? Did you see that? Architect saved me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my channel? Did MSI or did MSI not cease broadcasting? Yes, but... Hiram, are you there? Not without a physical contact waiver. Ah, the good captain. The truth brings us together once more. Our salvation has come crashing through the stratosphere. We need only collect its weapons. Are you mad? That's a UDL gunship. You'd probably shoot your own toes off. Ah, I see you learned nothing while dealing with these buffoons. We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but we need its targeting module. Our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Help us secure that module and we will save our colony. Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do, so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my void damn channel. I am more than finished with you lot.
If the iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the iconoclasts. Well, because the module controls the weapons systems. Because once we mount them on Stellar Bay's walls, no Marauder or Raptidon will ever be a threat to us again. Stellar Bay will be as secure as any other settlement in Halcyon. The board's own Salvage and Recovery Clause 32B would say differently.
And they won't dare challenge us over this. Not after the data you found on their experiments here. Don't worry. We'll send an engineering team for those later. We'll have to disconnect them from the rest of the ship.
Of course, they'll be useless without that targeting module, which is why it's critical that you retrieve it.
Which is also why we can't let the iconoclasts get them.
Can you imagine what those maniacs would do with weapons like that? They'd wreak havoc.
Or they go and get themselves killed. Then they're not your problem anymore.
The board would consider us complicit in any of their folly. That would only get us ousted again.
And roll back all the progress we've made at reconciling with the rest of Halcyon.
Even if they merely sat on the scraps, the threat of a bunch of anarchists holding a gunship would bring the full wrath of the board down on Monarch. We can't afford that.
I'm skeptical they'd care enough to wipe us out, but if they did, we wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh, you see our quandary then. Good, because we haven't a moment to lose. They're all mad! And what's more, they left us! I don't see any way for us to work together. Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a mantipillar, and my will is my cocoon. I can emerge and become whatever I wish. You two?
He has a point, sir. And it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts. Oh, how do these things ever start? Once upon a time, Graham and I saw the same problems with MSI. A rigid corporate structure with no regard for its people. But where I wanted to reform MSI, he only wanted to take it apart, as if starving in the wilderness is somehow better than starving under corporate mismanagement. He won't hear reason now, and I wouldn't trust him again. That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first. Very well. I can't promise anything, but let's see what we have here. Well, it seems like she's actually very qualified.
If it weren't for her, I'd wager the iconoclast would have died off a while ago.
I wasn't expecting to say this, but if you can put her in charge and convince her to agree to a meeting, I'd be willing to discuss terms.
You're that fellow that's been helping the cause, ain't you? Didn't figure I'd get to talk to you. Thanks for what you done. Welcome to the heart of iconoclast country, brother. In charge? Huh. We're iconoclasts. Every soul a sovereign power. We do for each other on account of it needing to be done, not because some fancy-pants manager said to. Now, you want to rephrase that question, maybe ask who's respected hereabouts, I can give you a sensible answer. Every soul here knows to keep a weather eye out. Everyone's lost somebody to the wildlife. That didn't stop Miss Zora from picking a few souls and imposing a schedule. Be here then, leave there later. Downright un-icon... in-icon... Well, it ain't what we do. Take that on top of what happened on the Northern expedition. She and Graham are exchanging harsher words than usual. When the monarchists wanted to settle down and play nice with the board, Graham was the one that took a stand. He's the reason we're here, breathing free air. Zora's our best sawbones. Nearly every soul here owes her their life. She's got funny ways, but they work. Well, sure. It's on account of how we all work. No iconoclast makes another do as they say just because. You gotta convince them. That Graham and Zora argue all the time just says the process is working. Vigorous intellectual debate. You see? Welcome to Monarch. The animals think you're tasty, the fungus thinks your lungs are a great place to plant spores. That ain't enough? Look at the sky. Olympus yanks this moon about like a drunk dancer. Storms to curl your hair and quakes to rattle your brain pan. Afraid so. Now, I wasn't there, mind. I've just been helping Ms. Zora with triage. Ms. Zora took a team into the ruins north of here, looking for supplies, I heard. But they ran into a sulfurin mantiquine out from the wastes. After getting the survivors treated, she went to tell Mr. Graham what happened. Reckon that's her cussing in the distance. 2, you can't actually keep the dust out. Always carry antifungals. Sprays work okay, creams are better. You got nothing else? Vodka. Afraid so. Now, Ms.
The gunship. Have you secured its targeting module? Mount its guns to our walls or the walls of Stellar Bay. The board is coming, Captain, and these weapons will defend us from their blasphemies. Yes. My, how we've grown. From one disgruntled employee and his like-minded compatriots to the very movement you see before you. All right. The iconoclasts are free folk. We live under our rules, motivated by our own beliefs, all petals on the same. Meanwhile, the board strangles the will of its workers. It is the penultimate exercise of a poisoned society where we seek to replace their way of life with ours. This is not anarchy. Society requires structure, Captain. It is just that the board's structure is killing the colony. Ours will not.
Something on your mind, Captain? Too bad. Had I a reliable third party I could trust to set up a meet, maybe I'd consider it. With all the help you've done here, at first I thought it could have been you. But I can't trust you to think logically. Your priorities are skewed a bit too much like Graham's. For all I know, Sanjar's playing you to get to us and you can't see it. So no. In another life, maybe that could have worked out for all of us. In this one, we're going to war.
fun. Captain, you sure know how to set a woman's heart to beating, that's for sure.
Smells like death. You know corpses shit themselves, right? I'll wait out here.
Yeah, me too. You have fun, Captain.
Something on...
I bet you'll like Rebecca. What's up?
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are, thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Any luck bringing the iconoclast to the bargaining table? I don't like the idea that they'll be trying for that module while we delay. That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. After all, they have first access to any fresh parts or components. A conspiracy? You've spent too much time around Graham. Ooh, that's very good. I wish I could help, but I've never been very good at making presentations. I could work on a brief, if you think it would help your case. Excellent! I'll get to it straight away. It'll be a few weeks before it's ready, but one can't put a price on quality work. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the iconoclasts. Well, aren't you unpredictable? It lends you a certain air of mystery. It's quite magnetic.
I wouldn't get excited just yet, sir. It looks like the iconoclasts followed you. I have word they're gathering in the ruins outside of town.
I'm afraid we've got to fight them. They'd knock our walls down trying to get that module. It looks like this means war.
He's right, sir. You don't sound very convincing.
Well, I didn't ask for a performance review, did I? I'll lock the south gate to keep them out. You'll have to approach from the north. Good luck.